Never miss an episode of the Final Furlong podcast. Subscribe now on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And now, here's your host, Emmet Kennedy.
You are very welcome to a very special episode of the Final Furlong podcast, again coming to you live from Flat Racing's headquarters at the Curragh, and we are again joined by one of our favourite guests, Gavin Lynch. You're very welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
It's good to see you.
And you, Emmet. Although you didn't say that to me this morning. We were chatting. I was driving down the road, coming to the Curragh, and I said I'll ring Emmet just to make sure he's not late as usual. And the next thing, we're chatting after 5 minutes. He goes, "Yeah, bollocks, yeah." I'm going, "I didn't do much on you." He goes, "Not for you, no, a car on the road." So.
Truck, even worse.
There you go.
You know when trucks just decide to stop in the middle of the road, no indication, and then start reversing on a main road, having done 60 and a 100 the whole way through. Yeah, that's always great fun. Anyway, nobody wants to be hearing about that nonsense.
You must have backed Ballyburn at the weekend, that's why you're annoyed.
I was actually on Teahupoo,
there you go.
but just about managed to come out on the right side of that one. What do you now make of the 2 mile hurdling division?
I think it's not great. I think it's a poor division. I was chatting to somebody, a very knowledgeable man the other day, and he was saying that maybe it's a case now that, you know, with a lot of the staying flat horses going to Asia and going to Australia, maybe it's a case that, you know, there's just not going to be many brilliant 2 milers anymore. A lot of the breeding is done for staying chasers and for 3 milers, so maybe it's a case that you're going to see less brilliant 2 milers from now on. I would say that Stateman would be my horse for the champion hurdle if he was around, but he's not this season. He should have won it last year, and the year before he won it. Lossiemouth, not really a 2 miler, but at the moment she probably sets the standard. I still think there's a good chance she'll go in the mare's hurdle. I think she's better over 2.5. That's fairly obvious.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing because all the people who've backed her and are probably thinking to themselves, this is it, this is the season. She's not a guarantee. Like, the 3 of the top 4 in the betting for the champion hurdle fell in their last 4 starts at least once, and she's one of them.
Yeah, I think she's 50-50 to go to the mares or go to the champion hurdle. They're talking about Sir Gino. We haven't seen him. He's been very, very sick, but Nicky said then since Constitution Hill fell again that he might go to the Christmas hurdle at Kempton. So that has,
he mentioned the Desert Orchid first though.
He can't run them both.
It's Nicky, who knows?
they're only a day apart, I think. 26th and 27th. The new line, it didn't answer a lot of questions at the weekend. He was kind of running around a bit. He kind of nearly half jinked out on one of them, and then he obviously has a fall. He looks like more of a 2.5 miler as well. You have William Money. It's very sad about Constitution Hill. Personally, I would take it that, you know, that's my feeling, was that it was very sad. The best supreme winner of my lifetime, an amazing champion hurdler. The first year he beat Stateman. Just things have gone really wrong ever since, and now 3 falls out of 4 in the exact same way. Like, I'd imagine they're talking maybe going to a flat race. He might go for a flat race next, but you couldn't be backing him to win a champion hurdle. God love him. I actually hope he doesn't jump a hurdle again, to be honest, because I'd hate to see anything happening, but you know, he is an 8-year-old, so they'll probably chance it once more.
This is one of the things I really wanted to talk to you about, first of all, because when we were here at the Curragh a couple of months ago, at the start of the season, when we were trying to set the scene for the new season, I was asking, and I was very optimistic about the idea of the Constitution. 14-1, he could be actually a good bet. You were very, very quick to put that one, stamp that one down.
Look, it's championship standard. It's top of the pops. It's the best you can get. So things have to be going right for you. No matter how good you are, you can't be at 90%, no matter what the sport is. Roger Federer got old and he got beat too, you know. So
he's not old though, Gavin. He's 8 years of age.
Yeah, but he's gone through a lot. You know, bad racecourse gallop in Kempton twice. We had he got his win done. There was talk of different things, etc. So but 3 falls. I mean, he's guessing. He's lost all his confidence at jumping. He doesn't know whether to go with the right leg or the left leg. He's landing in the middle of the hurdle. It's like watching a fella who's maybe an average putter and he's on a bad run and he stands over a 4-footer. He just doesn't know if he's Arthur or Martha. He's second guessing himself. And
he's got the yips.
He's got the yips, and Constitution Hill has the equivalent of the yips. God love him. It's sad.
I would run Sir Gino in the Christmas hurdle, put Nico de Boinville on him, and give the right to somebody else, and let him go for his 4th Christmas hurdle.
Would you?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
that is no slight on Nico de Boinville. Brendan Powell's going to be losing his mind now next. How dare you criticise that? We talk about dropping players from football teams. We talk about dropping rugby players, NFL players. Nobody bats an eyelid at that kind of stuff. It's not healthy for the 2 of those people to keep that partnership going. Nico de Boinville has had 3 bad falls on that horse. The horse himself has fallen. Give somebody else a chance.
Yeah.
No slight on Nico.
Look, we'll all come up with our own theories, but sure, they're going to do what they're going to do. I can't see that happening necessarily, but Nikki and Nico have been in partnership for a long, long time. And the one horse that never gets any credit is Golden Ace.
Never, ever. She could win the next 3 champion hurdles. We'd still say the same thing. I believe Jeremy Scott got in contact with our colleague Adam Mills to thank him for the fact that the total performance data piece that he wrote throughout the races was focused specifically on this was a really good performance from Golden Ace. She deserves credit for it. And
the other thing you'd say as well is that Anzadam looked a bit of a dodge.
I'd heard he'd worked badly in the week leading up to the race. I'd heard he'd worked badly going into the Moygiana, and that's why Lossiemouth went.
I had heard that he'd worked very well the week before the race in Newcastle. So, but he's not the most reliable. He's missed the last 2 Cheltenham festivals. He even missed the Triumph. He missed the Champion Hurdle last year. He just looked a bit of a dodge. He had his race to win there at the second last. Came there travelling well, and he just, I don't know, he looks a very, very difficult ride. So I don't know where that leaves Willie Mullins in terms of the Champion Hurdle. Maybe it leaves him with Lossiemouth. We'll see. Obviously she'll run at Christmas. She might have to take on William Money. If she goes and beats him well, maybe she will go to the Champion Hurdle. But I think if Stapeman was around, she was 1,000,000% going to the Mayor's Hurdle.
Yeah.
And she has won the last 3 Cheltenham festivals, and if Stapeman was there and Paul wasn't going to ride her, well then you had a chance that Lossiemouth was going to try and do a Quivega and try and win maybe 6 festivals in a row,
Yeah. Jade Tegrugi didn't take well to fences on her first start.
No.
Didn't look a natural. They're talking about Cargizi going chasing as well. The point I'm making there is that whenever Willie Mullins has got a short price favourite for a race at Cheltenham, he tends to just lean into that race, and Lossiemouth would be a very short price favourite for the Mayor's Hurdle.
Yeah, she'd be well odds on. Wodhooh was really good. We saw that at Ascot, but Lossiemouth has already beaten Wodhooh and she'd beat her again. But if Lossiemouth goes to the Champion Hurdle, well then Wodhooh will be a sharp price favourite for the Mayor's.
Music to Gordon's ears, I'm sure. She'll take an awful lot of beating that Mayor's Hurdle if there's no Lossiemouth.
Yeah, she would. She's not a 2-miler. Like people are talking about her for a Champion Hurdle. She's $1,000,000 for that, because like even in Ascot just at the bend, you thought for a few strides she was in trouble. So 2.5 mile minimum is her trip. She'd even have a chance in the stairs, I think, but yeah, she'll end up in the Mayor's for sure.
Yeah, she's a grade 1 horse for sure. Whichever race they decide to go for, she's going to be a big player in. Who would you bet on right now?
If the Champion Hurdle?
If you were going to have a bet. Let's say there's
I said this to you
10 euro free bet from 1xBet in Ireland. Who are you going to have it on?
I said this to you a few months ago. I couldn't have a bet in the Champion Hurdle. I'm still the same. Like the thing, I very, very nearly backed Stapeman at 7-1 there, whatever it was, a month or 2 ago, and then the news came out that he was injured. So
lucky man.
Yeah. You've got a new horse there, Alexi, who's been very impressive in handicaps. Like that's how kind of, I'm not saying low the standard is, because it's grade 1 and the Champion Hurdle is a Champion Hurdle, but you're even giving a horse like that a chance,
Yeah. Well, I'm quite interested in him at 25-1.
But I wouldn't back Lossiemouth at 2-1, because to me there's still a doubt that she definitely goes here. Now obviously she bolts up at Leopardstown at Christmas and in early February, well then she will go here. But just at 2-1, you'd want to have a lot more going for you than that.
I think you need to be looking at horses like Celtic Gino. That's how bad this race is. You need to be looking at horses like them. You need to be looking at something original that can sneak into the frame, and then
William Money would have a chance. Like if you look at the form of the Supreme, obviously Salvatore Money went on to win at Aintree, got beat since in Thurles, but the Kopek to board and the horse that won the Drinmore the other day, Romeo Coolio, like the form is really good. So the talk is that William Money didn't have an ideal prep for the Supreme, so maybe he'd have a bit of a chance. But like you're kind of clutching at straws. He's 8-1. He's not exactly 20-1.
No,
but it's just not a strong race. And I certainly be huge respect for Sir Gino, but you'd have to see him run. Like you haven't seen him. He's had a lot of trouble since we last seen him.
Where's Irish Point?
No idea.
Very talented horse. Like runner up in the Champion Hurdle. No sound of him since. Don't know where he is.
Don't know.
And if you're going to fancy him, if you're going to fancy William Money, don't you have to then fancy Kawabunga?
Yeah, just
work
because
ahead.
The fact that he was injured, we haven't seen him since again. You're kind of you're guessing a little bit.
Wouldn't rule him out at all. But
no, but you want to see him
become a bit of a wise guy horse.
Like what can be a good idea is to wait for the overnight declarations. If you're waiting on a horse and on a Friday morning you see him entered on a Sunday, back him then. The price won't be any different on the Friday because he's due to run.
Great point. Just wait for him to be actually declared.
Wait for him to be declared and then you come back it.
What did you make of Ballyburn's comeback over hurdles?
Yeah, very good. He must have been hungry going out because he was still eating a bit of grass on the way around. I'm only joking. Yeah, he was very good. It's very hard for a horse to come back from a bad chasing campaign straight into a top class hurdle race. His jumping was fine. I'm sure it'll improve. The fact that the Stairs hurdle is on the new course will suit him. Only 2 hurdles in the last 7 furlongs. He took a long time to get going. When I saw it originally, I was kind of saying to myself, was this the once a year when Paul gives a horse a bad ride? But I don't really think so. He just took a while to get going. Willie said afterwards we might change tactics on him and possibly make the running with him the next day. But I could see him going to the 3 miler at Christmas, maybe at Leopardstown and then straight to Cheltenham. I doubt he'll run in the Galmoy on bad ground in Gorham Park, in deep ground. He sets the standard. The little question you have, I think both Ruby and Patrick on a podcast about a month ago had a big question mark whether he would stay 3 miles, but Willie wasn't even a thought. He said he's bred for 3 miles. Yeah, he'll stay 3 miles. So the chances are he will. He definitely sets the standard. Teahupoo is 8 turning 9. Last March he was beaten by a 10-year-old, Bob Bollinger. So he's definitely beatable, even though he's a previous winner of the race. It was his third Hatton's Grace, so he's a super horse. But yeah, just the only thing is the prices. Like, I think what are they doing? They're saying 5-2, is it, for Ballyburn for the Stairs hurdle? It's okay, I suppose. I'd be against Teahupoo at 4-1 anyway.
Teahupoo will stay.
Yeah.
Ballyburn's very keen. I think that the 2-1 quotes are a bit mad about him. What do you make of Impostois in the long walk?
Yeah, grand. He was getting £6, I think.
Yeah, he was.
So I wouldn't get overly excited. I see he's there 10 or 12-1 for the Stairs. I suppose the one thing about Impostois winning the other day is that it was a compliment to Jimmy Desai, who won over fences on Saturday in Punchestown. Jimmy Desai gave him weight when winning the Curragh Cup, and his jumping was good under Patrick on Saturday. So Impostois, again, the Stairs is not a strong contest. I'd say similarly to the Mayor in the Champion Hurdle, Bob Bollinger gets absolutely no respect whatsoever. He's 14-1. He wins last year's Stairs quite well in the end. Now I know he's going to be 11 in March, and I'd be an ageist, I'd be against them, but I'm just saying in terms of prices, he's 14-1, and the horse that he beat, Teahupoo, is best price 4-1.
What I'm getting from this is sometimes you can overcomplicate this stuff, and if you're looking at a horse like Ballyburn is 5-1 and now he's 2-1, your instinct
he's 5-2, just to say so.
Yeah, but your instinct is to then go, oh no, I've missed the price. But are you just looking at the Stairs hurdle from the perspective of he is the best horse in the race?
He's better value now at 5-2 than he was a week ago at 5-1.
Because he's proven he can go back.
Because he has proven that he's basically there. Because Teahupoo's a fantastic guide. Teahupoo has been first or second in the last 3 Stairs hurdles. Ballyburn has shown that his hurdling was fine. He has the appetite, he has the engine still. So he's a better price now at 5-2 than he was a week ago at 5-1.
Okay.
So you know what I mean? There's reasoning to all this, and just because he's half the price doesn't mean he's 50% as good a value. I think he's probably better value now, 5-2.
I thought Ruby Walsh's reaction afterwards was...
What did he say? I wasn't...
he had a face like Dot Cotton licking piss off a nettle, basically. Like, we're going to... we'll figure that out the next day. We'll get revenge over 3 miles.
Getting beat. Get beat, yeah. But overall, it was a very, very good run, and there was lots to like, and he had his appetite for it. He had the battle, and look, he's always had a brilliant engine. He just didn't like fences.
Yeah.
So he's totally the right favourite for the Stairs hurdle, yeah.
Brilliant novice hurdler as well. This episode is brought to you by 1xBet. If you're betting in Ireland, you can check out the 1xBet website with the link in the episode description on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you're listening to us on. Click the episode description, it'll take you right there to the 1xBet website. Over 7,000 markets for you to bet on every single day. Fast withdrawals, which is the really crucial aspect, and loads of new customer specials as well. Link is in the episode description to sign up. 18 plus, terms and conditions apply. Gamble responsibly. Your game, your odds, your 1xBet. To the novice chasers, Jimmy Desai was really impressive. So we're recording this on the 2nd of December. It was the weekend where he gave Patrick Mullins his 900th winner, which is pretty extraordinary as well. 10-1. He looked in a short jumper.
Yeah, I tell you, afterwards Patrick said that he had spoken to Danny, and Danny didn't fill him with confidence about his jump, and he said that Danny had schooled him and said he hurdles a lot of them, and he did that on Saturday. He hurdled them. He was quite fast over them, but you know, I wouldn't say it as see it as a negative. I thought it was quite a positive. To beat the big Westerner, given her weight, given her £7, was a really good performance. The fact that Final Demand is in the race obviously is the major stumble block. He was brilliant in Navan. Third in the Ballymore, or what's it called now, the Turners last year.
Yeah.
Just the tiniest niggling doubt is, does he like Cheltenham? Like, you have to remember that the Turners was ran in the old course. The the Brown Advisory is going to be run on the same track the same day. It's quite a tight track, the old course. It'll suit a horse with more gears. Jimmy Desai has won a Curragh Cup also on the same track on the same day last year. And just 6-4 and 10-1 is probably a slight over-exaggeration. Wendigo won the other day over 2.5. He will love a step up to 3 miles, but is he good enough? The Big Westerner, I see she's 16-1 for the Brown Advisory, and she's only 8-1 for the Mare's Chase. Now, I think 8-1 for the Mare's Chase is a shocking price. Like, for her to be taking on horses like Dino Blue and Spindleberry, who are really experienced, it's very difficult. She's going to have maybe 2 more runs before Cheltenham. I couldn't see her win the Mare's Chase simply because of experience.
Speed as well.
Yeah, she wants 3 miles. Yeah. And that's only 2.5 on the Friday. Yeah.
Was it Monty Star or Manila Indo was behind Lorena on Chase debut? I wouldn't be surprised if the Big Westerner comes forward as a Henry de Brom head horse and just improves.
And just to say one thing, people saying there, a friend even said to me yesterday that, would Final Demand have a chance in the Gold Cup this year? To me, absolutely no chance. And Novice, he's only just gone and won an average beginner's chase. Now with the error that was third to him, ran disappointingly for Gavin at the weekend.
Yeah.
The form of that race is just grand. But his jumping was awesome. He's a brilliant horse. He could go off favoured, maybe second favourite in 15 months' time for a Cheltenham Gold Cup, possibly if he's impressive in the Brown Advisory. But I wouldn't have him at all in terms of a Gold Cup this year. No chance.
Well, there's a narrative with him that this could be a Monkfish scenario where he goes off 5-1 on, but then Romeo Coolio emerges, and I don't think there's a hope in hell that a horse ends up in an Arkle because you have to rematch with Kopek de Boards, and I don't think there's much of a sense in going back in trip. That's my opinion.
Yeah,
I'd love to hear what you think
about Romeo Coolio. I think there has to be a chance that he goes maybe even Fairyhouse, but then again Cheltenham is Cheltenham, so he's more likely to go to an Arkle than probably a Brown Advisory. But if I owned him, I would love to try him at 3 miles. I think when he was a bumper horse and a hurdler, he was very, very keen, but he's becoming way more tractable. Jack is getting on fantastic with him. He didn't have to lead the other day. He only took it up nearly at the bend, turning in. His jumping is absolutely amazing. He has 7 1/4 lengths to make up in Kopek de Board from the Supreme, and Kopek in Navan, I had something on Kopek at whatever it was 137-2 before Navan, and I was very happy. But Paul and himself had a couple of arguments down the back straight. Paul eventually showed who was boss and got control of the horse, but over the last 3 fences he was excellent. He's slightly eccentric, or he's very aggressive, Kopek de Board, whereas Romeo Coolio has become literally in 2 runs the perfect chaser. So he could make up the difference on jumping. If you saw, like, there's only 8 hurdles in the Supreme, there's 13 fences in the Arkle, and if you saw last year's Arkle, Majborough was by a long way the best horse, but he didn't win. And that could happen again. I just wouldn't be totally convinced that Kopek will put in a perfect error-free round in an Arkle, whereas you're basically nearly assured that Romeo Coolio will do it. I would see Romeo Coolio as a bigger danger to Kopek than Lulamba.
Okay. Do you think that he's more of an Arkle horse than a Brown Advisory horse?
I think he's exactly a 2.5 mile horse at the minute. Yeah. And it's such a pity for Gordon Elliott that the race was taken out of Cheltenham a couple of years ago.
Certainty for the journeys.
Yeah, I'd say at the moment he'd be 3-1 favourite for that if that race was still there, but he's not, so, or it's not.
Well, this is what I was saying about having to be creative. I think 20-1 about him for the Brown Advisory is really, really interesting. Final Demand is obviously a very exciting horse.
The one thing that would help your idea there is if he ran what used to be, what is it now called? It used to be called the Flow Gas, the 2 mile 5 at the DRF.
Oh, yeah. The Peter Moriarty race.
Yeah, at the start of February. And also at Christmas, is he going to go to the reinstated, what used to be the Race and Pose Chase over 2 or 2-1 at Leopardstown on the 26th, or is he going to go to Limerick? I think Gordon even said he could even go to the Cato Star.
I was going to say, Gordon, send him to the Cato Star. Yeah. Send him to the Cato Star, Gordon. You'll bolt up.
That track and the jumping, he would absolutely love it. So if you see Romeo Coolio entered in that in the final decks, that's when you back him for the Brown Advisory.
Do it, Gordon. Do it, Gordon. Crush your enemies.
But his jumping is just class, isn't it?
Yeah, he's class act. Does Final Demand deserve to be 6-4?
He probably does. He's a lot of hype about him. There was a lot of hype about him and off favour for the Turners. He's a gorgeous big horse. His jumping in Navan was excellent. He was calm. He measured every fence effortlessly. Like, it was whether it was a fence there or not, it was nothing for him to jump a fence, was it? I prefer a horse like him that aren't extravagant, because they're not wasting energy launching out of the wings at every fence.
Yeah, it was a special performance for sure. I just think that there are going to be a number of horses that emerge, and you've made the point before that that's a long way back in third. He is behind the New Line and the Yellow Clay. It's a long way back in third. Whereas he was brilliant at Leopardstown, he was brilliant at Punchestown.
Yeah, the only thing is afterwards, especially after when he won in Punchestown, Willie said maybe we made a balls of it in Cheltenham that we should have made more use of him.
Yep.
He definitely stays all day. So I had actually backed him for the Turners at a fancy price last year, but I got done, so that's the way it is.
Yeah, I had done the same thing. Oh well. Smile and nod.
Yeah.
Do you prefer him over Cup de Boards in terms of strong Willie Mullins favourites for novice chasers at Cheltenham, or do you think they're both going to take an awful lot of beating?
I definitely would prefer Final Demand. Now, I'd be afraid of Jimmy Desai, but I definitely prefer Final Demand because literally you know he's going to get around. Whereas with Kopek, if you have a big bet on him, you might be watching it from the back of the couch, hoping that he meets every fence right. Like when they go lickety-split in Cheltenham in a champion chase, we saw that as well with John Bond last year in the champion chase. It really, 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 the more I see Cheltenham, the more it comes down to jumping. Especially over 2 miles over fences. 13 fences, they really, really go so quick that you can get away with one mistake and a small one, but you can't get away with 2 or 3. You're gone.
Yeah.
As we saw with Madra last year.
The margin for error is so fine. Is there anybody else? July Flower was really good at Cheltenham.
Yeah, she was. You wouldn't maybe think she's up to the standard of winning an Arkle, the horse that she beat of Dan Skelton's runs this weekend against Lulamba possibly. So that'll put the form to a test. She was getting the weight. She was very good. Her jumping at Limerick was very high and stuff, and her jumping at Cheltenham was better. So yeah, he's done it before with a mare, put the kettle on, but you'd imagine the boys might have her taken in that.
And Luamba
was decent in Exeter. It wasn't perfect, but it was good. He's odds on again this weekend in the King Henry VIII at Sandown. I wouldn't be in love with 5-year-olds. He's 4 turning 5.
Yeah.
The last 5-year-old to win the Arkle was 20 years ago this
Well,
March.
Chief?
No. Viper Steadies.
Oh yeah, of course, the Allen horse.
And back then Viper Steadies got £5 from the second and only won by a length and a half, whereas nowadays they don't get that weight. So I just think, like, I would always have a Supreme horse ahead of a Triumph horse, maybe even by as much as £8 to £10. So I think it'll be very difficult for him to win the Arkle.
Well, he's trained by Nicky Henderson and he wears the Donnelly silks, so people are just going, oh, it's Sir Gino 2.0.
You're disappointed that he got beat in the Triumph. I know that maybe they went too quick, but even so, I think I'd be more afraid of Romeo having backed Kopek.
Okay. Of the novice chasers, who is the one that really interests you right now, that you would be most confident about winning come March?
Boring answer is probably Final Demand, but would I back him at 5 or 6 to 4 anti-post? I don't think so.
And is there one that you think that over Christmas is something that could explode into life? Like Romeo Coolio, for example, in the Faheen or something like that? Yeah,
maybe I didn't think about it. You'd love him to see going to Kempton, but probably won't, just because...
Do it, Gordon. Do it. Come on.
I thought Kitzbühel was just okay. He looked beat in Punchestown. Maybe he needs to step up and trip. The race in Limerick is going to be very interesting. Final Demand. So if you're Romeo Coolio, you're going to have to either take on Final Demand in Limerick or Kopek de Board in Leopardstown, if you go that way.
Or you take on the Brits, which is probably the better thing to do.
The best way, if you're a trainer, you go, what's the race he'd be the shortest price in? And I'd say he'd be the shortest price in the Cato Star.
That's a very fair point. Yeah,
I'd say he'd be favoured in that.
Oh, for sure he would. And if he's not,
and like
we'll make him favourite.
What would he be? It depends what's in it, but he'd be like 7 to 4 favourite. Whereas he's definitely not going to be favourite in Leopardstown or in Limerick.
Do it, Gordon. Race planner Gavin Lynch is available for a consultancy. This episode is brought to you by 1xBet. If you're betting in Ireland, now is the time to switch to 1xBet. Loads of customer sign-up offers for you, loads of incentives to switch to 1xBet, including fast withdrawals, very, very fast withdrawals, in fact, and over 7,000 markets for you to get stuck into every single day on the 1xBet website. The link is in the episode description. You can click it now. 18 plus, terms and conditions apply. Gamble responsibly. Bet with your head, not above it. 1xBet knows the crack.
I hope they're faster withdrawals than you are passing out a truck.
Oh my goodness.
Standing for 15 minutes.
White line.
Doesn't matter, you were still behind the truck for 15 minutes. Come on, get on with it.
Continuous white line. Actually, Gavin said to me, never mind that.
Jesus Christ. Get on with it.
Flying past. Novice hurdlers. I thought Cejudo was really good the other day. My Daddy Paddy for the Skeletons obviously has been impressive. We're still waiting for Bambino Fever. We've seen a Willie Mullins horse in Le Divan Enfant.
Won a very prestigious race last week.
The Gavin Lynch. Sign up to GavinLynchRacing.com.
He did.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that later on. I really like Sober Glory, but there's a horse that is the subject of a big gamble today.
All right.
Cut across the board. And it may very well have something to do with the people who have signed up to GavinLynchRacing.com, following your advice, and a horse that was 20s in the blink of an eye is now 40s.
Look, I just think Dr. Dumeniel is a lovely horse. The form of his bumper in Cork has worked out very well. The Devil, you know, if I can remember correctly, a few weeks ago in Gorham Park, beats Skylight Hustle and a horse called The Passing Wife that my brother has a share in, and the two of them ran brilliant race at the weekend. One bolted up, the other was third in the Royal Bond. So the Devil, you know, is a good horse of Paul Nolan. This lad beat that by 11 lengths in Cork, and even the horse that was back in third has run well since, and the horse in fourth run okay since. So I think the form's good. It was 2 miles 3, as I said, Jody Townend. The horse was favoured for the Turners, and I just thought maybe 20-1 for the Bartlett was a bit big. I think there's definitely an equal chance that he'll show up in the 3 miler. Now I know Willie doesn't usually run his top ones in it. He used to years ago, but not so more recently, including Final Demand last year. But I think if he shows up at a Bartlett, he'd have a right chance. So it might actually take him to get beaten once in the next 3 runs or 2 runs, whatever it'll be. But if he shows up in the Bartlett, I definitely like him, yeah.
Okay.
It's a bit of a guess, but anyway.
Oh no, I think he's very interesting, and the fact that you've said all that means I'm sold. I don't need to think about it any further. Gavin Lynch has endorsed it. That's enough for me. No drama this end. Described initially by Paul Nichols as this could be Denman. Then he immediately pulls that back and goes, I didn't compare him to Denman.
He did.
We've heard this. He did. He absolutely did. He did the same with Hermes Allen.
That was
well,
actually that horse entered this weekend in Sandown as well.
Yeah. So we're going to know more about him. Now he was impressive visually, but is he up to the standard of winning a Grade 1 at Cheltenham?
You know, he'll probably go maybe and win a shallow hurdle, and he'll go off 6 or 7-1 to win the Turners. But he's exactly the horse that I would oppose. The horse he beat of John McConnell's is decent, but had been second in the bumper. But the horse in third belonged to Henry. I don't think he's a superstar, and he was only less than 10 lengths behind him. So he's a good horse, good to win a Grade 2 first time over hurdles. Really good. Yeah, very, very nice horse. You'd love to own him. But I just think coming out of Close Sutton, you might have 3 or 4 that could cause him a headache.
Yeah, he needs a big gun, so I understand why he's getting excited when he has one that looks good. And hey, he might silence us all, and maybe the horse does go unbeaten and win at Cheltenham. Best of luck to him if he does, but I'm in agreement with you.
As regards the Supreme, there's absolutely nothing jumping off the page yet. My Daddy Paddy was good in a poor race. He's into 7 or 8-1. But the reason for that was that there was lots of talk about him. The Skeletons are on fire, and also that there's nothing yet we've seen for the Supreme, really. For example, Bambino Fever, I think she's no chance of running the Supreme. I think she'll definitely run the Mares Novice Hurdle.
Obviously the Mares.
So that's what Willie has done forever, so he's not going to change. So don't back Bambino Fever for the Supreme.
She's a bumper winner as well, so maybe the new course would just suit her better, because she'll have the stamina.
Yeah, she would. She definitely have stamina. Love Me Tender was due to run in the Royal Bond, hasn't. The time was quick in Tipperary. And then going back to the Royal Bond at the weekend, Cocktail Brute and Noel Mead's horse and The Passing Wife. I think the form is fine, but the winner is 25-1 for the Supreme, and I wouldn't back it for it. I think that race was good, but I don't think you've seen the winner of the Supreme there. I haven't seen anything for the Supreme just yet. Yeah,
there's a lot of horses that are still the much talked about Wind Beneath My Wings. We want to see that horse. Sober Glory is not a Supreme horse, but I think he's very, very good for the Hobbs team, and he might beat No Drama this end if they meet.
Active Innocence was good the other day in Newbury, the horse that had been second to Constitution Hill in the Gallop. And then as the horse that won in Thurles, Le Divan Enfant, a terrible race, went off 1-6 or 1-7, bolted up. Paul was... I think it's always worth listening to Paul and Willie afterwards, because if they say a horse is really good, they obviously know, because they train. I'd say out of the top 50 horse and train, they probably have 35 of them, and so they know the time of day. And Paul was impressed. So look, it was a terrible race, but I'd say he might end up in the Grade 1 at Christmas at Leopardstown. Crystal Destravel is a horse that really interests me. Harry Durham paid 400 grand for him. He was the top lot at the Cheltenham sale. He's come out and beaten the Punchestown bumper winner easily. In behind was a Dan Skelton horse who was a once raced bumper winner, and an Emma Lavelle horse who Harry Cobden had been booked to ride in a bumper and sent off an odds-on favourite, and he absolutely smashed them up first time out. Never ran in a bumper, just straight over hurdles, won easily. Not saying he'll win a Supreme, but
I'd say there's going to be some nice races with them. Chasers, Champion Chase Division.
Champion Chase Division.
Bit of a mess.
Yeah, it is, yeah. The one horse that I was dead set against is Sir Gino, based on the fact that you haven't seen him and he's had his problems. And now the fact that he might be going hurdling, so you definitely couldn't be backing him. I had something on Madgeborough a while back. I see he's into 3 or 4 to 1. He was a bit bigger. He'll probably run, the entries will be out now in a couple of hours. He'll probably run the Hilly Way in Cork at the weekend. He does jump a dot to his left going right-handed. That's obviously no worry at Cheltenham, so just allow for that the weekend. But you're hoping that he'll go and be impressive there. I'm sure he'll be odds on. I can't see Marine National running on deep ground in Cork. I'd say he'll wait till Epperson at Christmas. So Madgeborough, his errors is what cost him the Arkle. The Arkle is usually a very good trial, obviously, for the following year's Champion Chase. He's a very young horse. He's unexposed. It's just he definitely has the engine. He just needs to get his jumping right and lift the legs a bit higher.
Ilete Tomp will take a lot of beating in the Dingle Creek for sure.
Yeah.
Triumph Hurdle, Supreme Novice Hurdle, Arkle. He hasn't fired at Cheltenham.
No, he has not. I backed him in the Supreme each way, and I think he finished 4th.
Yeah.
Good to see I got over that. And he got a balls right that day by Danny Mullins. I think Danny said so afterwards. He had him very wide and all that. But anyway, he doesn't seem to get on at Cheltenham. So
bye, Danny.
That has to be a bit of a worry. Again, it depends on if Madgeborough is absolutely rocking and rolling. Would they definitely run Ilete Tomp in the Champion Chase? Would they wait for the one of the race at entry? I'm not sure. Marine National, very, very good last year. You're going to say Quilixius might have beat him. I don't think so. But John Bond ran no race in the Champion Chase. It's very hard to guess how far Marine National would have beaten Quilixius. Let's say 3 lengths, just at a wild guess. I don't know. You're going to say less. But anyway. So, yeah, for me, it'd be Madgeborough at 4 to 1. If you're going to back him, maybe do it before Cork, because he really should win the Hilly Way. But it's all down to his jumping. He's shown even when to win the Triumph Hurdle like that on only a second start for Willie Mullins, having had a run in the DRF. He's got a big engine.
And that Arkle form is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's really good, yeah. Yeah.
Only by night is Gavin Crummel's only winner over jumps this season. Or at least for the last 100 horses to run.
Oh, more than 100, yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, he's obviously brilliant and he'll turn it around, form his temporary classes permanent.
And Load of Soda, Nicky's.
Load of Soda's bolted up. Nicky's horses come out and look like a proper King George horse as well.
And if he doesn't, but he did make the mistakes. That's why he's 4 to 1.
Yeah.
If he had jumped the second last and last better, he would have won 3 or 4 lengths. So he's got a huge engine. He just wants to see, can he get his jumping organised in the next 2 runs?
Is Factifile an absolute certainty for the Ryanair?
I would say so, yeah, but the only little worry you have is that he's not a good battler, is he? Any of the close calls he's ever had, I can't remember him winning a close run race.
Share, Gaelic Warrior.
Yeah, and even in Lepperson when he was running over 3 miles twice, I think it was Grangeclere West or one of those, ended up going past him in the last 100 yards. So he's not an amazing battler, but he just seems an out and out 2.5 miler. I think there's no chance he'll run the Gold Cup personally. And his performance in the John Durkin was excellent. The best race we've had so far this season. There's been plenty of them, but that was the best. Gaelic Warrior and himself, I think that performance by either of them will win the Ryanair, yeah. And Gaelic Warrior looks like he's going to the Gold Cup. What I'd say about the Gold Cup and Gaelic Warrior is that Paul Townend being on his back would be a crucial part of his chances, which probably won't happen. So Django Bay is second favourite for the Ryanair, and justifiably so. Madgeborough will go to the Champion Chase. Ilete Tomp possibly go to a Ryanair, but I don't know.
What do you make of the King George in between? Because that's a fascinating race.
It is, yeah. I think somebody was saying that there was a big drift on Gaelic Warrior a couple of days ago on Betfair or something, but I think it's back in again.
Does that even count anymore?
I don't know. Yeah, the turnover on Betfair is so low nowadays. It's shocking. Somebody sent me a picture the other day. It was before one of the good race in Furios, and with literally a couple of minutes to go, matched on the race was only like 97,000.
That's shocking.
Whereas I remember lots and lots of races being 500,000 and 1 million being matched on it.
Easily, yeah.
But so I don't know what's going on there. I don't think they do a huge amount of promotion for it, that's for sure.
No, they do nothing for it. And then you've got other exchanges that would love to do it, but no, they won't give it up. They will not let it go, but they won't allow anybody else to have. They won't actually pump anything into it either. It's a sad state of affairs.
I think the King George that you asked about is going to be a great race. Django Bay was brilliant in Ascot. The Jukebox Man was really good, having won the Cato Star last year. Good reappearance recently. Factifile is Gaelic Warrior is the obvious favourite. So once he didn't have too hard a race, what I'll say about Willie Mullen's horses lately is that some of them are running really well and some of them are running like they're not near fit. Like Jade de Grugy went off, say 2-7 in Cork. Her jumping was okay. It wasn't dreadful. It was 6 out of 10, but she should have performed much better than that. Salvatore Money gets beat by a stable companion,
Capiche Pike.
Yeah. So some of them are not firing yet.
Wouldn't Factifile be fascinating for the King George?
He would, of course, but I'd say what's going to happen is, my guess is that Gaelic Warrior will go to Kempton, Factifile will go to Leopardstown for the Savills, and I think that will go to Tremor. Gallopin de Champs will go to Tremor on New Year's Day. Yeah,
that makes sense. Which brings us to the Gold Cup. Obviously a bit of a setback for Gallopin de Champs, but 6-1, he'll be 10 years of age. He just wasn't going in the Gold Cup last year.
No, not from the second fence. I was watching him with a couple of pals they're not into horse racing, and we're watching in a pub on the Friday, and I said to the lads after 2 fences, well, that horse won't be winning.
Yeah, forget it. It was over.
I'd say they were happy enough with, I know the way you're thinking, in the John Durkin. I know he's beaten 50 lengths, right, but he was beaten 35 last year, and this year they went lickety split. They went a right gallop. He's out the back with the national horses. His jumping, I watched him. I was watching 2 races. I was watching the front ones and I was watching him. I've already backed, I know the way you're thinking, for the Gold Cup. I think 4-1 is fair, that he is at the minute best price. His jumping was just okay, but that's just him. Last year they used the John Durkin in the 2 races at Leopardstown to get his jumping better. He was a massive eye catcher in the Irish Gold Cup. I think we had a chat about him before Cheltenham last year, that he had a big chance.
Yeah.
He's a much younger horse. He's 2 years younger than Gallopin, I think, and he's 2 from 2 at the track in terms of the Kim Muir, where he jumped badly and still won. I think he sets the standard. Like, he, in the last 18 months, he's had 1 hard day in the Gold Cup, and this season he'll have 1 hard day again, which will be in the Gold Cup. I think he'll run a lot better over 3 miles at Leopardstown. He ain't going to be bet 50 lengths in those ones.
Well, given the way Gavin's horses are running, I wouldn't be so sure about that.
Yeah, no, but that has to change at some stage, you'd imagine. If they continue like that till March, well, obviously he'll be a drifter. But
and the passing wife ran a blinder, in fairness.
Yeah, but it's very few of them running a blinder, as you say.
There's an absolute positivity in what you said about the fact that he's had a very light campaign, and he's just been a lightly campaign. Basically, look, they were campaigning him for the Grand National. Let's be honest with it. That's what they were doing last year.
And then they had to supplement him,
and it worked out that they've won a Gold Cup. The subsequent record of horses who finished first, second, or third in the Gold Cup is atrocious. It's absolutely appalling. You can gaslight all you want. No, it's not a hard. It breaks horses. Brave Man's Game was never the same. Absolute Heart was never the same after winning the Gold Cup. Might Bite, broken to pieces after he won at Aintree. That was him finished. There's lots of horses just get broken by this race.
But this horse is getting more like a best mate kind of a program, and he won 3.
He is, and he's had a very, very quiet preparation in the lead up to it anyway. So he hasn't been battling around in Grade 1s left, right and centre and having hard races over and over again. But I'd need to see something from him.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I think you'll see a lot more of one of the Leopardstown runs, and if you do, I think he definitely, if he comes back to what he showed last year, he'll take a lot of beating.
Grey Dawning will stay.
He will. He was good in the Betfair Chase. His jumping, it's like watching a horse going around the RDS with the show jumping, isn't it? He's a brilliant jumper.
Fantastic.
He just like pops away, and it's fantastic.
And he was great in the old JLT in the Turners.
He was. I'd say his next run will be the Cotswold Chase, and that'll be it, unless it's really soft ground. But if the ground is just good to soft, which most meetings in Britain are called, he would probably go there at the end of January and then go to the Gold Cup. Look, he'd have a place chance, but I don't think he'd have the class to win it.
You think, I know the way you're thinking, is still the one they'll have to beat?
Yeah, obviously you'd like to see a lot more at Leopardstown, but yeah, I think there's just 1 day in March, and I think he definitely sets the standard. If he produces what he produced last year, he'd be very hard to beat, even if Gallopin didn't fire on the day.
Okay, that's fair enough. They were miles clear of the rest.
They were, and in fairness to Gallopin de Champs, I'm a believer that horses like Hurricane Fly and Gallopin de Champs, I think they're very intelligent. I think they know they're in a race. I think they know when they're going to the racecourse, and they really, really want to win. Yeah. And even though he was having an off day, the next thing, 3 or 4 out, he's back in the game again with a chance. And he just really wanted to win, and he ran. He was trying to win his 3rd Gold Cup, and he had set the standard up to that point. But the last horse to win a Gold Cup who is a 10-year-old or more is like 1998, so it's going to be 28 years next March. So it's very difficult for him to do it. Gaelic Warrior, as I said, I think I would worry if Danny or Patrick was riding him in a Gold Cup in terms of, I just think Paul is an exceptional talent. And even what he did on him in the John Durkan, okay, he said he was a passenger for a while, but he let him stride on, because if you don't let him do that, he kind of gets flustered. And then he gave him a bit of a breather. If Paul was riding Gaelic Warrior in the Gold Cup, I think he'd have a chance. But obviously he's not going to get off galloping Champ if he's anyway right, having won 2 Gold Cups in him. So I think for him to stay the 3 miles to Gaelic Warrior, I think going left-handed, which he's not as good at, I think he would definitely need Paul on board.
Okay, what's the horse you're most looking forward to seeing over Christmas?
There's so many. I don't know. You're going to have, like, the King George will be amazing. I think if
Christmas Hurdle will be fascinating too.
It will. If you have Kopek and Romeo against each other in the Racing Post Chase on the 26th, if it's still that date, that'll be amazing. The race in Limerick will be good, with Final Demand will be good. Yeah, I'd say maybe the King George would be the best race, but there's going to be, like, the 4 days of Leopardstown is, geez, I remember as a young lad, oh my God, like my father would say, you know, we'd be young kids and we'd say there's 4 days to Santa Claus, and he'd say, yeah, there's 5 days to Leopardstown. I'm not joking. I remember one year there was one Christmas where they used to have 6 races a day, and there was 24 races for the 4 days, and I think something like 19 favourites won. Oh. And I remember that the late great Des Fox was a fantastic. The bookmakers back then, by Jesus, they were some men. Yeah. Oh my God, Sean Graham and all these lads were amazing. They'd take any money. And the next thing, I believe Des Fox lost so much money at Leopardstown for the 4 days that he had to take a break for 6 months, like, he just to get his stuff back in order. And he was fearless, like. But anyway, so I'm just reminiscing. But Leopardstown the 4 days is, for me, now that my daughters are 19 and 17, Santa Claus has left the house, and yeah, can't wait for Leopardstown.
It's going to be cracker.
Yeah. I'm
going to ask you to give me either a patent or lucky 15, so 3 or 4 horses that we can bet on for Cheltenham. While you're thinking about that, this episode is brought to you by 1xBet. If you're betting in Ireland, more than 7,000 events for you to bet on every single day. Fast withdrawals, loads of new customer sign-up incentives for you as well. There was an incredible Black Friday offer. I think it extended to Cyber Monday as well. That's gone, but there's loads of other great sign-up bonuses for you. No. The link is in the episode description on the podcast, on YouTube as well. Just scroll down to the episode description. It'll take you right there. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. Gamble responsibly. Your game, your odds, your 1xBet. Sign up now if you're looking to place bets for the Leopardstown Christmas meeting, or perhaps Anti-Post Racing at Cheltenham. If you were to give us a patent to send us to
What's
Dubai.
That? 4 horses.
So a patent Jesus is 3, like, lucky 15 is 4.
It's nonsense talk. Give you 1 horse. Jesus
We'll
Christ.
take 1.
Hold on. Let's have a look.
Jeez, please hold, caller. Your call is very important to us at Final Furlong Podcast.
Yeah, you're some pain now, you are.
I'm as painful as that truck driver was this morning.
Let me see. The Triumph Hurdle, not really. Oh yeah, I'll put in Spindleberry, right, for the Mayor's Chase. That's okay. 1.
Owner wants to go for the Gold Cup, but
I know that, but
Willie's rules.
Generally, Willie gets his way. Let's go with Dr. Duminil for the Bartlett, a big price. We'll throw in, I know the way you're thinking of 4-1 for the Cheltenham Gold Cup, and we will throw in, Jesus, 1 second. Dear. So many handicaps at Cheltenham, isn't there?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Do
you know what's a great idea?
What's that?
Taking the Mayor's Hurdle away from the Tuesday and replacing it with a handicap. Genius. Absolute genius.
Throw in Majborough. There you go. So some of the, what did I give you?
Majborough, 4 I know the way you're thinking. Dr. Duminil,
4-1,
Spindleberry.
14-1 and 5-1. So 4-1, 14-1 and 5-1. At least there's no 2-1 shots or 6-4 shots.
So here's the good news.
Don't go on about it now.
If these horses all win, we're off to Dubai. We will see you in Dubai.
I wouldn't want to go to Dubai.
If they place, we'll see you in Dublin.
No, go somewhere else.
We'll see you in Dublin.
No, go to Scotland.
See you in Temple Bar in Dublin.
We'll go to golf in Scotland.
All right, we'll do that so instead.
Oh, by the way, I'm not doing any more of these until you promise that you're doing at least 10k in next year's Curragh to Curragh cycle.
I'm not making false promises. Have you seen my physical condition?
I don't care. Anybody can do 10k. My granny, if she was still alive, would do it.
William Kennedy is well able to do that and then ride in a race after it. But William Kennedy's a fit man. 10k is crazy.
6 miles. It's from here to there. Look at it.
Not a hope I'd be able to. Can I drive?
Down to Newbridge and back.
Can I drive it?
No, you can't. Go on, you'll do it.
Is there one of those tandem bikes?
Go on, shake my hand.
Go on, I'll do it.
You do 10k.
Go on, I'll do something.
Do 5k.
Do something. I'll promote the fundraising as much as possible.
And then you can come in front and you can let on that you did the whole lot.
It's like a shortcut is in. Oh, incredible effort.
Good to chat.
By the way, you raised an absolute fortune again. Well done.
Yeah, we actually raised 351,000. It's now obviously the Pat Smullen race day, including the Curragh cycle, and led by a brilliant committee, including Frances Crowley, who is a wonderful lady.
Incredible.
And Evan and everybody else that's involved. There's like 7 or 8 of us on the committee now, and to raise 1.2 million in 5 years is fantastic, and it is making a big difference. We now have a professor who's leading a lot of research and stuff, so the money's going to the right area, and I think it will pay dividends long term. I genuinely believe that.
But we were here that day, we were sponsoring 3 races with 1xBet, and the next thing, this oversized novelty check turned up with a massive amount of money written on it. Fantastic.
351. It was our best year so far. So there's just a lot of generous people in racing. We had a couple of people gave big donations, and I won't say who they were, but they know who they are. And so there's a lot of brilliant people out there, and a lot of people that help and take part and donate and raise money. So long may it continue. It's the last Saturday in August every year, so next year is the 29th of August, I think.
Well done, Gavin Lynch. You can sign up at gavinlynchracing.com if you haven't already.
You can.
And you're doing weekly shows, recapping the weekend and looking ahead?
I think we do 5 videos a week. All Things Cheltenham on a Tuesday morning comes out. Horse to Note from the last week on a Thursday, weekend preview Friday, and then a Saturday and Sunday preview. So keeps a fella busy.
Don't miss it. gavinlynchracing.com, and of course you can sign up to 1xBet, and the link is in the episode description. Gavin and the whole team at the Curragh, thank you so much for accommodating us yet again here at this incredible facility, and please God, we'll talk to you again early in the new year.
Super. Thanks, Emmet. Have a good Christmas. Cheers.
God bless, my friend.
Thank you.
God bless. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for listening. Smash a like on this episode. W's in the chat for Gavin Lynch, and hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode of the Final Furlong Podcast. We'll talk to you again very, very soon. Look after yourself and each other. God bless.
Thanks for spending some time with us on the Final Furlong Podcast. We're independent media, so if you like what we do, hit like, share, and subscribe. It's free, it's quick, and it genuinely helps. And if you enjoyed this episode, there's plenty more where that came from. Don't miss out. Subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all major platforms, and join us on the gravy train. The Final Furlong Podcast. Independent, unfiltered, and powered by you.